Building time. Building time. Who will win and who will fall? Find out when we burn the wall. It's building time.
Hello, this is Stampy, and welcome to Mega Building Time, the show where Squid and I need to mega build in time. If you didn't see the last episode, you may be wondering why Squid Nugget is not standing next to me like he normally is, and that's because we are partway through a 1 hour long special of building time. So we're basically splitting it up into 15-minute chunks. It's all going to add up to 1 hour. And the topic is an enchanted forest. So in the last episode, I started building this, which I was very proud of. And yeah, still, it's not a bad start. Basically, I'm building a giant tree, as I'm sure you can see. And I don't know what Squid's building on the other side of the wall. Very much so looking forward to find out what that's going to be. But yeah, I better get back into it. So I haven't started the timer yet. I kind of had a little bit of a break between the end of the last episode. But yeah, I'm ready to carry on now, though. And I want to get the tree 100% finished today, and hopefully start getting some of the inside of the tree done as well. Basically, the idea I've gone for is kind of like a magical pixie fairy forest, and I'm gonna do like a little town, I guess. So that's the plan. I will start my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. No, not yet. Yeah, there we go. Go. Right, the timer has started. So let's go and carry on filling in these leaves. I did have the idea at the end of the last episode to do a mixture between 2 different types of leaves. I don't think I'm gonna do that just because it's just gonna take too much time. Like, I didn't realize just how long it was gonna take to do these leaves, and it seems to be taking a pretty enormous amount of time. So I think I'm just gonna stick with the one type of leaf for now, and make sure I get all of this completely done. And then after that, maybe I can add other leaves and kind of add like sea lanterns or glowstone or something to kind of light up the tree. Because when I think of Enchanted, I kind of think of like magical glowing, I guess, is kind of what I think of. So it'd be good to do some of that. But it takes a long time because the way I'm doing these leaves is I'm just trying to like cover any of the wood that I can see. I'm just trying to make it so you can't see any of the wood, and it's a lot more difficult than building the trunks, because when you're building them, you're not worrying about being careful. You're just kind of placing blocks like crazy. Here you have to kind of be accurate in order to place the leaves in the right place, and it just makes it slower. It just makes it slower. So I'm being, of course, as fast as I can. The clock is ticking away, but this is just something that I need to accept. By building this giant tree, I just know that this is something that's going to take a lot of time, but hopefully it's going to be worth it. Hopefully this tree is going to look good enough that it's going to be worth the time investment that I put into it. So I think maybe a quicker way to do this is I'm going to go and do the top of all of these branches, and then the sides, and then kind of go around and do all of like the underneath afterwards, because then that way I'm not kind of constantly having to fly up and down and kind of switch what I'm doing all of the time. I think this just might make the entire process end up quicker, and if it does seem like it is just taking too long, then I don't know, maybe I'll leave it for now and kind of come back to it later. Like, I guess as long as I get enough done, that will be okay. So tell you what I'll do then is I'll do the top and the side of all of the branches, then I'll move on to something else, and then if I have time at the end, I'll go and do the underneath, because the underneath doesn't matter as much. It would be great to get it done because it does look a little bit weird, but that doesn't look awful. That doesn't look too bad, and if that means it allows me to spend, another 5 minutes building something else, then I think that is, at the end of the day, going to be much more worth it than doing things the way I'm doing now. So the current plan at the moment is to get the tree done, of course, and then I'm going to do like a fairy that lives inside of the tree. So I'm going to make this kind of a giant home, and then there's going to be other homes which are going to be inside of like mushrooms and kind of other expected magical things. I want to add like a lake somewhere, I think would be cool, and then make this into kind of my little village rather than having it just like a forest. I want things to be living in the forest. And you know what, I think for this section I can kind of just go crazy with the leaves like this and just try and cover up as much as I can, because there is like lots of weird holes in this section leading down to where the trunk is. And I think once I get the the top done, like the leaves along the top here, that's when I'm going to have a good idea of what the tree as a whole is going to look like. So I don't need to worry about getting all of those little nooks and crannies down there, because you're never really going to see that. If I was doing this as a permanent build in a world and I knew people were going to be looking around it, I'd spend the time. But really, like, it's all building time is. Like, obviously it's about creativity and like building skill and architecture and all of that stuff. But really the big thing with building time is time management. It's about knowing, is it worth spending this much time building this thing? Is it going to pay, is it going to make enough of an impact on like what the thing looks like overall or not? So that's kind of the big thing that I've been starting to learn compared to when we started building time, is there's a lot of things that I'd like to do. Maybe I'm building a shop and I think it'd be great to have a roof. But you know what? If I could spend more time building the inside of the shop and just ignore the roof, like ultimately I might end up with something that looks kind of better, even though, it's not what I'd want it to be overall. Like, it might actually be worth it. So that's going to be something very important here, because the stakes are incredibly high for this. The winner of this not only gets 4 points, which is good. That's going to put them in a very a nice spot. Either for me, kind of pulling further ahead of Squid, or Squid is going to give them a great chance to catch up. Also, the winner of this gets the gold play button from the Magic Animal Club, which is kind of Squid and my kind of joint channel where we've uploaded a bunch of different videos over the years. At the moment, it's mainly for the Magic Animal Club podcast, which is actually where we came up with this idea, by the way. I don't know if you listen to the podcast at all, but we do a podcast every week, and we actually came up with the idea for this building time in that podcast. So I kind of feel like it's kind of going full circle that, the winner of this is going to win the play button for for that channel. This is very important for me, because, we both want that play button. I genuinely want to stick that thing on my wall next to my other play button. So it does actually kind of matter a little bit more, which is probably kind of a bad thing, because that's probably something that's making me panic a little bit more, kind of adding that extra bit of pressure. And to be honest, I am thinking that I built this tree too big. Like, I think, speaking about time management, I could have probably built this tree, I don't know, like half the size, and it could have still been cool, but, it'd have given me so much time to add everything else in. The good thing is, because we're building a forest, forests are actually they're quite easy to build something that looks quite big quite quickly. And the reason for that is because you can use bone meal just to put flowers and grass everywhere, and then you can also just put down saplings and bone meal to grow just a whole load of trees. So I could, in just about 2 minutes, I could make this place look like a forest. So that's not a problem, but, it would just be a bunch of normal Minecraft trees, and just kind of flowers and stuff. So I don't need to panic too much about all of that stuff, because I know I can get that done quick. It's more about like, building things inside of the giant mushrooms and all of the finer details. I think I've spent so much time on this tree. The way I need to look at this build is like, the build is the tree and then just everything surrounding the tree. I think that's kind of just the way I need to look at it, because it's getting to a point now where I'm going to spend half the time building just this one tree, and this has to be the standout thing. So I think I'm either going to win or lose by this tree, always just depending on what Squid's doing. And you know what? I am so unbelievably curious about what Squid's doing right now. Like, you can all look, you can all go check. You probably know already what Squid's building. But as I'm recording this, I have no idea what Squid's doing, and I would like nothing more than just to go and poke over the wall, because it would actually really help me, because if I see what he's doing, is similar, I can make sure I carry on doing what I'm doing, but do it better. If he's doing something smaller, I could kind of change strategy, or, I can just see how good he's doing, and that could actually change what I do. So it probably would be a little bit unfair if I did peek. It's not against the rules technically. I just kind of always find it a little bit more fun, so that when when we burn the wall, that is going to be the big reveal, where we both get to kind of check out what the other person's doing. And even though this one's being done over several weeks, I would still really like to kind of keep that moment where I get the gradual reveal of what Squid is actually building over on his side. I got to imagine it's got to be relatively similar. I don't know whether he's going to be spending so much time building as big of a tree. I think it's actually pretty likely. There are a lot of times where we do end up building things pretty similar. Like, you know, I think what I'm building is probably a relatively obvious thing to build. But you know what? I'm just getting glad now because we've almost just about finished getting in the rest of these leaves here. Let me just kind of block that area off just to make sure I don't have to put leaves inside of all of that. But yeah, I'm kind of winding down a little bit. Like there's gonna be a few branches I've probably missed and a few patches. But as I said, I'm gonna go and do that at like, you know the point in building time where I've got most things done and I'm like, what else could I add? Like in that point, that's when I'm just gonna go back and add the rest of the leaves in, because I don't want to get to a point where the only thing I do have to show for all of my my hour of building is the tree. And an hour sounds like a long time, you know. It is 4 times the length of normal building times, but if you think about the things you build and how long you spend building them, an hour really isn't that long. You know, it's really not that much time at all, you know, especially when you haven't had any time planning it and you've only just kind of found out what you're building. Like an hour seems like forever when I think about it compared to other building times. But if I think about all of the times that I normally like spend building times in like things in Minecraft, an hour really isn't too long, you know. I might spend an hour just trying to break away a hill in my lovely world so I can build something, you know. Like an hour isn't a ginormous amount of time. So yeah, I really need to get a move on, don't I? I just feel like for this section there's not much I can do differently to what I'm doing. Like I don't know if there was a much more efficient way to kind of build what I've been building here. Like I feel like I've been pretty much, you know, placing blocks non-stop. My blocks per second placement time must be pretty high right now. I think I've kind of got this done as quickly as I could, but the problem was just how big and ambitious the thing that I was trying to build was. But I think that's most of them. There we go. This is the branch I missed. Well, kind of these 2 branches here. So I think once I've got these kind of mostly covered in leaves, I'm going to move away from this now, and I'm going to go and start focusing a little bit more on the inside of the tree. One, just to make sure I have time to do it, and also, I don't know about you, but I'm starting to to get a little bit bored about just placing these leaves down again and again and again. It has to be done. It will be worth it. It will be worth it in the end when I can look back and I can say, whoa, look what I did. I built that enormous tree in less than half an hour. You know, like we have an hour to build, but you know, we're only in episode number 2 right now. So all of this is built in less than half an hour. So I'm still pretty happy with the way progress is going. I'm just getting a little bit worried now that maybe I was being just a tad too ambitious, just because I was thinking about exactly how much time I have. But yeah, let's kind of finish off this side of this branch here. Then let's go and start doing some of the roots of the tree at the bottom. I think that's going to be really important to make it look more like an actual tree rather than a flagpole. But let's just go and admire it a little bit, go and have a bit of a step back and see how it's looking. Oh, it's looking good, isn't it? Let's go and fly back here. Oh, it's looking good. It's looking nice. I like it. So I do want to get the underneath of the branches done, but I am gonna focus on that at a different time and not worry too much about that now. So we need a doorway. That can be where our little pixie friend is able to enter their tree. And I'm going to do like just some kind of blocks going up here like this, just to kind of add a bit of texture to the bottom of the tree. And then I'm going to go and do some as if they're like kind of spreading out around the ground on the outside of the tree. I think that would look pretty nice as well, and I'm not worrying too much about having all of these facing the same direction. It doesn't matter. In fact, it probably looks better when they are kind of all facing in different directions, so that looks good. But now we can kind of do some kind of going in the ground like this and kind of zigzagging all over the place, just to kind of make it look like the roots have kind of spread out. You know when you find like really old trees and you can just see like the giant roots kind of poking out the ground and kind of going round like this? I think that's cool. I could kind of almost do these roots kind of spreading throughout the entire rest of the build. You know, seeing as this tree's so big, it wouldn't like seem too unrealistic. And also, it's an enchanted forest. It doesn't matter if it's unrealistic. But yeah, look, I can do like branches kind of in the ground, kind of going all the way out like this, as if these are kind of the roots that are like spreading out throughout the entire rest. This could be like the life tree thingy, which is kind of keeping the rest of the forest alive, maybe. So that could be kind of the story. So let's kind of do some more roots, kind of just poking in all around like here. Once again, I'm just trying to build as fast as I can and also just kind of as randomly as I can, just to make this thing look more natural, rather than doing, really straight lines and kind of making it look perfect. I'm kind of just going around a little bit randomly like this. And I think that ultimately ends up making it look better than if I spent even more time on it and kind of overly thought about where everything's going to be. So I'm feeling a little bit better about this now. I've pretty much got the outside of the tree done. I know I've got a few more of the leaves to go, and then these roots are taking a bit of time, but that means that in the next episode, I can really focus, well, actually, no, I'm not. I was going to focus on the inside of the tree, but I'm worried that that's going to take too much time. I need to build some more things. I need to not only have a big tree in my side. So I think I'm going to leave the inside of the tree and then the rest of the leaves for the final episode. So that means if I do run out of time and I can't get it done, then it's not the end of the world. Like, there's still going to look like a cool tree. So let's block off my little doorway that I put down earlier. And yeah, let's not worry about that for now. Instead, let's get more built than just the giant tree, and let's build things a little bit smaller, because I really don't want anything else like close to the size of the tree. Because if I start trying to build a bunch of big things, not only is it going to take a lot of time, but it's also just going to take away from the tree. Like, if I build something big next to the tree, it's just going to make the tree kind of not seem as impressive as it is at the moment. So it'd be really good for everything else that I do. It'd be really good to kind of make that a little bit more modest, just so then that way the tree really does kind of just stand out compared to everything else that I've built. So this should look pretty good now with these roots kind of spreading out. I'm going to kind of step back a little bit and see, does it actually look like roots? Oh, that looks awesome! Doesn't that look cool? And I can go and add some, I'm going to add some vines going down it now. And the reason for that is because I want these to kind of start spreading their way down. And don't panic thinking Squid's left the game. We kind of might not have started at the exact same time, so it looks like he's probably kind of done his first 2 episodes already, because it doesn't really matter about us doing it at the same time here. So let's go and add in some more jungle leaves and some more vines. But that's it. That's the end for this episode. So this is 2 videos worth of work, and I'm really happy with it. I'd have liked to have got more other stuff done, but this is still only half the time. I still now have half an hour to build everything else. So I think I'm still on track for having a pretty awesome build. The important thing is that I have no idea how on track Squid is. So that's the only thing that's worrying me. So let's think about the next episode a little bit then. So we can, we don't need to worry about the roots anymore. We can add our mushrooms around the place and the rest of our trees, try and make them look like homes. I want to really add flowers everywhere and light the place up, and then also do a bit of terraforming. I want to build up like some hills, maybe add down some of that like podzol, I think it's called, that weird, where is it? Where's the old podzol? This stuff, yeah, podzol. I want to add some of this stuff down because I think this will look perfect, kind of spread all around the place. So I'd like to add some of that down, and then then I think, hopefully, by the end of the next episode, I want this to look like a complete forest with the giant tree, and then I can start worrying about kind of finishing off the rest of the leaves and doing the insides. But overall, not bad, not bad. Right then, so as always, there's going to be a link down in the description to the next episode of Building Time, where I'm going to be carrying on this. So yeah, hopefully I will see you there, and we can carry on with the mega build. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!